this is E.T. Prepper. If you've been watching the headlines lately, you're seeing that there is more and more talk of mega war from China, Russia, against the U.S., the European Union, Japan. You just name it. It's wars and rumors of wars. I've got one right here. We're looking at an article right now. It's military defense. There is, check this out. There is no water, no power, no nothing. And that's in the East Ukraine. Well, let me read what about this lady. For whatever her name is. A woman in her 80s, survival in the war zone comes down to one thing: water. Okay, folks, remember this. That's the first leg of the prepper's stool is water, right? Leg 1 is water, leg 2, food, leg 3, shelter, leg 4, security. Someday I'll do a video on that in the near future. Back to the article. Like many others in the flashpoint of the eastern Ukrainian city of whatever it is, she has come to central Lenin Square to fill her bottle from the stagnant pool at the fountain. She has no other choice. Notice this house right here in the housing complex. She lives in the city. That's the first problem. Back to the article. It's mostly for washing. If I drink it, I boil it first, she said, declining to give her last name. There's no water anymore, no power, no nothing. For the past week, since fighting between pro-Russian rebels and government troops led to the destruction of the water supply, a trip to the fountain in Lenin Square has become a daily routine for many in this town. Well, folks, what about us? What happens when there's no rule of law? When we're without rule of law, what's going to happen to us? Are you going to be ready? Are you going to have water? Are you going to have food? Are you going to have security? I'm sure you have a house. But if you've got a house right here, that's a real problem. Very seriously, that's a real problem. You've got to find a place to go when the stuff hits the fan. Now, something I wanted to point out, though, is in this city, there's 120,000 residents. They're fighting daily. So that means a lot of people are getting killed. There's a lot of pestilence. There's a lot dead bodies. Who's cleaning it all up? Obviously, if you look at this picture, nobody right now. So if that poor lady, she needs to get out. In the article, it talks about her not being able to get out because her husband's sick. Her kids and grandkids are already gone. And one guy he's talking about here later in the article, he talks about bathing in the river. Well, look at that. Now we're talking about moving the clock back to the 1900s, before civilization in a sense. So now I read all this just to encourage you. Please get ready for whatever may come our way. Hopefully nothing ever does. And all these preps go to our kids. They can inherit them. That'd be great. But seriously, folks, if you're not ready for whatever and any kind of an emergency, you can't be ready for everyone, but you can get ready for the majority of them. If you're not ready for them and you laugh at this, that's a real problem, because one day it's going to be on our doorstep, and then that chance to be ready and prepared is over. And it seems like things are kind of in an orderly fashion right now in this community. So folks, get ready. That's all I have to say.